Hello, everyone. I'm Ferdi Salvador. Join us in unlocking the tricks of the trade here on Trade Talks. Let's get down to business. Most people work in a stressful environment, and we have different ways to cope with stress. Some take their favorite comfort food, while others just have a good night's sleep. But did you know that you can achieve relaxation with rhythmic breathing? It's called shamanic breathwork, and it's the practice that uses rhythmic, continuous breathing to induce a trance like state and facilitate spiritual connection and healing. To tell us more about shamanic breath work, we are joined in the studio by Malou Araneta. She is the founder of Sama Wellbeing, and she's also a certified shamanic breathwork facilitator and shamanic minister. Welcome to the show, Malou. Thank you so much for joining us this morning.
Thank you
I
for
should do that
inviting me.
too. Malou, your wellness star has been rising steadily and exponentially for the past few years, especially from the pandemic to where we are right
Yes,
now.
yes.
How did this journey start for you?
Well, it started. I've been doing wellness, or I should say, I've been trying out different wellness modalities
Mhm.
for more than a decade already.
Okay.
But I was just a participant.
Okay.
I just wanted to try a lot of things. I wanted to go deeper within me
Uh-huh.
and really get to know who I really am.
Was it because of stress, work
Because
related?
of past experiences.
Yes.
Um, so that I just wanted to go deeper.
Yes.
So I've tried different modalities. I started with yoga,
Mhm.
and
Which most people
yes,
actually start
yes.
with.
And then I tried um, mindfulness meditation, different kinds of breath work techniques.
Yes.
But it was during the pandemic that I discovered shamanic breath work.
Yeah, because a lot of people, you are famous already because of you being an accessories designer. You have made amazing bags that have been showcased around the world. But not a lot of people know you as a shamanic minister.
I
What does
know.
that mean?
Well, because I trained to become a certified shamanic
Mhm.
breathwork facilitator. So part of that is, becoming a shamanic minister. It's really well, shamanic practices is really all about connecting with nature, connecting with Mother Earth,
Mhm.
which is our home.
Yes. So is there a difference between shamanic breathing or shamanic breath work?
No, it's the same. It's
Ah,
the
it's the
same.
same.
Yes, it's just
Okay.
that shamanic breathwork is the practice.
Okay. And where do you train with?
The school that I trained is in North Carolina.
Okay.
It's called Venus Rising, and yeah, so it's a certification workshop
Program. Yeah, so
program.
I thought, it'd be more, exotic. You'll be at the top of a mountain somewhere in
Well, it
Peru
is in
or
the top of a mountain in
North
North
Carolina.
Carolina, but yeah. So aside from that, there are also other journeys, shamanic journeys that if you want to experience it, you can also join their journeys. They
Mhm.
sometimes go to Egypt, Peru, um, Mexico. So
Is
it
there a
depends.
reason why people go to certain places to go get this kind of modality or learn this kind of modality? Like, I mean, they're exotic. Like, I would have expected that because, I would think it's a center for, I don't know, energies or something like that.
Well, also that, and these places, the culture is still very intact.
Hmm.
So in especially in South America, a lot of shamanic practices are still very intact there.
Hmm.
They still practice it. It's part of their everyday lives.
Is it culture or religion for them?
It's shamanic practice is not a religion at all. it's all that's like what I mentioned. It's all about connecting with nature,
Yes.
with Mother Earth.
Yes.
Um, and I feel that we've lost that connection through years or decades
Because of
because of
industrialization,
yes,
digital advancement.
exactly.
Yeah.
But we're slowly going back
Yes,
to
because
nature.
there's a lot of practitioners here that are number one, getting back to nature, going back to natural well-being. It's
Exactly.
actually become a big business, and it's amazing because it helps a lot of people through their mental well-being and also for
Exactly.
stress. Because, like in the Philippines is, we are hitting the ecosphere of modernity, of industrialization.
Yes,
A lot of
yes,
things are happening. We're globally connected,
yes,
and so there's a lot of stress stemming from that, right?
yes.
Because of your practice, does this help, like for example, corporate people that go to you, or is it more like I'm going through something and I'd like you to help me out?
Well, really, person. People that go to me can be those who are has been experiencing traumas or past um, past experiences,
Hmm.
or some of them just want to evolve and want to transcend more.
Hmm.
So it different types of participants or
But
students that come to me.
how long does it last? Like, what's your take me through a very brief uh, breath work session with you.
Well, in my session, it takes 2 hours to do the session because first, of course, a lot of people that come to me, they really have no experience of shamanic
Mhm.
breathwork, so it's their
I'm an
first time.
example. I've done it before, but
So and that's always my favorite, clients or students because they still don't have any expectations yet. They can't compare it to an experience that they had before. So they come with an open mind and an open heart. So that's what I love about it because some of them get shocked with what they
I'm an example. I got shocked.
shocked in a good way,
Shocked in an
in
amazing
an
way
amazing way.
because it's a different experience. So,
It's such a profound
yes.
experience, and you do this by just breathing, and you get into a transcendental
Hmm.
experience. So of course, in the first part of my session is I introduce shamanic breathwork, and I explain to them what is it all about, and I guide them through the process.
Hmm.
After that, we breathe for an hour. It's combined with chakra attuned music
Hmm.
to guide breathers to go into a deeper state of consciousness.
And then after that,
And
after
then,
2 hours pass,
after an hour of breathing, sometimes it's a 90-minute breath work
yes. I mean, I
experience.
experienced an altered state.
Yes, you
Yeah.
go into an altered state. This kind of breathing technique will allow you to go into a deeper state of
Mhm.
consciousness or the altered state
Just because of oxygen.
just because you're hyper oxygenating your body and your brain.
That's amazing. Please explain to me what chakras are all about.
Chakras is, we all have energetic points in our body. So
Yes.
those are the chakra points.
Yes.
So we have 7 chakras in our body. Um, so each point correspond to different parts or different energetic points
And
in
is
our
that with
body.
your breath work? Do you focus on certain chakras or you go through the seven
You
chakras?
go through a journey. You go to
Top to bottom or bottom?
bottom to top.
Oh, that's how. Okay,
Yeah. So
I did.
chakra, the first chakra is the root chakra, which
Yes.
is at the base of your spine, and then it goes up to your navel, your gut, your heart, your throat, your third eye, and your crown.
I think my co-anchors on BNC should go through a shamanic breathwork before our coverage of the election. So everyone's
Everyone is
relaxed,
aligned.
aligned. Okay. And how frequent should one person uh, involve themselves with your session?
So it really depends on the person again.
Mhm.
Some can do this once a week or twice a week. It really depends on how you really want this or what is your goal in doing this.
Yeah, because I know there's a lot, because you are.
Some can just do this once a month. So it really depends.
Yes,
Yeah.
because there's certain people that go to you for all sorts of stuff, breakups, stress from work, which
Yeah.
you help me out with. Because there's nothing to break up with, because I'm single. Unfortunately, I don't have that stress yet. I'll give you a call. But life's experiences and stuff like that. But you are super high in demand. And how do you manage all these sessions?
Well, of course they can. Uh, I actually do once a month group classes.
It doesn't have to be individual.
Well, you can also um, have a private session.
Yes.
So it depends also. Like if some first being in a group, so they can connect with other people also, and sometimes it also helps when you hear other people's experiences. Um,
But
but
this,
if you want to be more private
yes.
and you want to have more
Shout out.
yeah to have a
Your
more private
heartbreak.
experience and
Forget this world.
release whatever that you wanted to release.
Yes.
So that's also
Do you get a lot of corporate
yes.
clients?
Actually, I did one abroad when I was in Cyprus. I was flown there
Yes.
to do different workshops for companies. Yeah.
That's amazing. Now, the whole decade that you've been searching and finally landed in your purposeful type of passion, which is shamanic breathwork. I know that you've already put together an institute, which is called Sama Wellbeing.
Yes.
Tell me about that.
So we're opening a wellness space in Makati. Um, so it will have different uh, modalities. One is we're gonna have a movement room, so that's where we'll
Mhm.
do yoga, animal flow, Pilates, so different kinds of movement practices or meditation. And then in the other room we have the sound room. So this is where we'll do the sound healing,
I
sound
love that.
bath,
Yeah,
sound journey,
that's super cool.
meditation, private practice, private sessions also,
Mhm.
because it's a smaller room. And then we will also have a sauna and a cold plunge experience.
I want to get.
Contrast therapy
Ooh,
experience.
I want to get more into that with you because it's super interesting. But we're gonna pause for a short break. Trade Talks will be right back here on BNC. Welcome back to Trade Talks. We continue our discussion with Malou Araneta. She's the founder of Sama Wellbeing. She's also a certified shamanic breathwork facilitator and a shamanic minister. So we're just talking about your new project, which is Sama Wellbeing. I know this has been a long time coming, but you mentioned the different rooms that you have there. And does this help, aside from your mental well-being and your physical well-being, does it also help with people with medical conditions?
Well, it really depends on the condition.
Like hypertension.
Yes, of course, it can help, but we don't want to say it's a medical
There's no medical claims,
claims.
yes.
Yeah,
But of course,
but
hypertension, if
it's
you're
it's an
calm,
effective treatments that can help you
yes.
with those kinds of
Or assist in
assist and yes,
calming you down because
calming, and also like infrared sauna has already a lot of effective
benefits.
benefits
Yeah, yeah.
to treat uh, to help you with your blood
Yes, because
pressure.
athletes also use the infrared
Yes, yes.
saunas. Does shamanic breathwork also help with athletic individuals?
Oh yes, because when you breathe continuously,
Mhm.
like what I mentioned before, hyper oxygenates your body and your brain, and it helps you go into a deeper state of consciousness. It can also help you to go into a flow state, which a lot of you know athletes, when they're into sports, or like, this is this is how the practice is to help you go into a
What
flow
is a
state.
flow state?
Flow state, or deeper state of consciousness, is really allowing your body to flow, allowing um, the energy to flow.
Mm.
Um,
Does
and
it
it
have to
takes you,
concentrate, hit the goal,
yes, yes.
target?
So they say, before you even hit the goal, you already know how you're going to do it without, it's like your how do I say
It's
this?
like a breathing strategy.
It's like you know already what's gonna happen before it even happens.
Amazing. And you mentioned about your sound bath room. How does that sound bath
Or
room? Okay,
sound journey.
sound journey. Because if you put it together, it sounds weird, right? But how does music help in one's well-being?
Well, music is frequency, and frequency is also energy, part of energy,
Mhm.
right? So there are different types of frequency that can help you, calm your mind. Um, it really depends again on what you want to achieve.
Mhm.
It can help calm your mind, calm your heart, your soul. It can also help y- allow you to go into a theta state, or um, this when you're like you're sleeping and you're
Yes,
in that deep state.
yes.
Um, some people who are having hard time sleeping, or
Yes.
have amnesia, what do you call that? Like, the one that's having hard time sleeping,
Remembering.
remembering, insomnia.
Insomnia,
There,
yes. Yes, because
this,
I remember, Malu, sorry to interject. I remember when I was going through major stress patterns with my work. You helped me with my breathing pattern.
yes,
And I was in the point where I couldn't sleep, like two
yes,
hours sleep.
yes,
But
yes,
you, I wouldn't say forced, but you put me in that state where, okay, you can't think about anything else but you at this time.
yes,
And that experience is so exponential in my head that it's just like, because I was a
yeah,
skeptic. I mean,
yes,
breathing, what does that do to you? You know, what does that do for you? And then I did it and I've become a believer. But aside from Sama well-being, we're talking about you learning from different parts of the world. You're also facilitating in Cyprus, in Peru, in the US. But you've also been bringing groups of people to places a lot of well-being
hmm,
practitioners go to, which is Bali. Tell
yes.
me what kind of groups you bring there and what happens.
Okay, but before I go
Yes,
there, I
please.
just wanna also share about what you experience
Yes.
because of your breathing technique. Because when you breathe and when you become more aware of your breath, it calms your nervous system.
Yes.
Number one, so it helps you to calm your mind,
Yes.
allows you to, especially if those who are having a hard time to go to sleep,
Yes.
um, it can really help you, sleep better, because you're regulating your nervous system.
Mhm.
So that's why that's
But
important.
sorry, this is interesting. Before you answer my question about bringing them to Bali, how much oxygen do people actually use in their body? You gave me a statistic before.
No, when we're breathing normally, we
Yes.
actually really breathe very shallow.
Okay.
So, like, try to become aware of your breath. Like when we're breathing normally, it's like,
Yeah. It's shallow, is
it's
it?
very
Like right now.
shallow. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. And sometimes, even me, sometimes I forget to breathe. But when you become more aware of your breath, you tend to breathe deeper. So that helps you calm down or regulate
Which
your
is
nervous
true because when you're like
system.
about to get mad
Yeah.
or you're facing a concern, you're like, okay, what's that? Let me breathe. take a deep breath, and
Yes.
then you attack the situation however you should, right?
Yeah. So, it's also very, in our nervous system, we're so aligned with, like, especially when we get rattled or, we get shocked.
Yeah.
Our initial,
To hold your breath.
yeah, to hold your breath, right? So it's like in our brain already
Yes. Yes.
to hold your breath, or because it's how we are,
Shock
how,
factor.
yeah,
And like what?
diba? Parang you hold your breath
Yeah,
right
like me
away.
before we get on cam and it's because we're live,
Yeah.
I hold on to it first so that my director doesn't get mad at me if I preempt a statement.
So it's like in our head already, stamped in our head. Like
Yes.
that's our initial reaction is to hold our breath.
Yes. But holding our
Um,
breaths for your body.
yes. So it's like our brain is like in a fight or flight mode when
Mm.
we're holding our breath. Parang there's a danger right away. So when you become aware of your breath, it helps you to slow down your pace,
Yes.
and it helps you to think better, calm your mind, and
I'm aware of it.
regulates your
Yeah.
nervous system.
Let's go back to my previous question of you taking people to, wellness centers around the world. I mean,
Yes.
geographical wellness centers like Bali. Why do you bring groups there? And what's it called?
Well, um, so I also facilitate retreats.
Mm.
We bring people in different parts of the world, especially those who are places that already has that energy, or it's a very spiritual country,
Mhm.
or place.
Mhm.
Um, so that's one of my what I love to do is to help. It's not just a retreat; it's also a wellness tourism.
So it's experiential.
It's experiential.
So through Sama Wellness, how many places do you guys normally program in a year?
Well, with this retreat, this Sovereign Soul retreat, I'm partner with another teacher,
Mhm.
Leah Bernardo.
Yes.
So we've been doing this for 2 years already. This coming September is our third edition of the Sovereign Soul retreat.
Yes.
So it's from 10 to 15 people,
Mhm.
and it's not just a retreat. We also get to experience the place.
Oh, how
Like,
nice. So can they contact you through Sama
yes,
Wellbeing?
yes, yes.
All right. I've got a few more questions before we end our session. Our session this morning. What is your best investment?
My best investment is myself.
Nice. What is your worst investment?
I would say before I would spend on expensive bags. and and I realized after pandemic, because I wasn't using them, you know, the leather are like already,
The falling apart.
yeah, falling apart. So I'm like, oh my god, that's it.
That's it, pusit. You can't use it anymore.
Yeah,
Down the drain, right?
exactly.
And what is your biggest mistake, Malou Araneta?
I would say nothing, because I would always attribute those mistakes to experiences, because those experiences leads to a greater knowledge, greater lesson. So it's still a very good experience.
I have to say that's one of the best answers I've ever heard when every time I ask that question.
Oh, thank you.
Yes. Thank you so much, Malou, for being with us this morning and taking us on a short reflection and wellness session. Because I'm sure people that are watching today actually, you know, are noticing their breath right now.
Yes,
But they can contact you through Sama Wellness on your social media. So
yes,
I'm very
that's
happy.
right.
Thank you once
Thank
again.
you so
Thank
much.
you. And that is it for today's show. I'm Ferdi Salvador. Catch the Bilyonaryo News channel on Free TV channel 31 and on cable via Signal channel 24. Thanks for watching the Bilyonaryo News channel, always on top.